Mighty Money London, welcome ladies and gentlemen. With me here is now for the first time Adriatic Metals, and it's Paul Cronin, the CEO of the company, who wants to give us an insight. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for taking the time, quite spontaneous, I love it. We saw us yesterday the first time at the exploration pitch battle, which went quite well, I would say.
Yes.
And what's Adriatic Metals about?
Well, look, Adriatic is a polymetallic project in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It was a brownfield exploration asset that the Yugoslavs were drilling prior to the outbreak of the conflict in the early 1990s. Most of the information was sort of lost. We managed to pick up the asset, put that information back together. So we did that starting in March 2017.
Yeah.
We drilled it extensively to confirm that historical information throughout 2017, and then in 2018 we listed the company on the ASX.
So it's quite young.
Yeah, look, it's Adriatic was actually set up specifically to buy that asset.
Okay.
We are a UK company listed on the ASX where we've done well. Our share price has gone from 20 cents on listing to about $1.40 today. We've built up a market cap now of about 250 million.
Wow.
And so we're getting to the point where the London investor base is ready to have us back.
Super.
To use your football song, it's coming home.
Fantastic. I like that. Fantastic. You said to me you are polymetallic, so maybe we get started with the metals you have already.
Sure.
So what you are pursuing?
Yeah, so the predominant metal is zinc and silver, so sphaerolite and galena. We've obviously got lead, but we've also got quite a lot of gold, copper, barite, which is an unusual product, but the deposit is actually barite hosted.
Barite, for what is that used?
Barite, it's primarily used as a densifying agent for oil and gas exploration.
Ah, okay.
So they put it into solution and they put it down the well to prevent blowouts on oil and gas. So it's quite a big market worldwide for barite. We're producing a really good product, which will actually get quite a premium. And we're also going to be producing antimony as well. So we've got 6 saleable metals that will be produced out of 3 concentrates. We've done a lot of work on metallurgy, as you have to do.
That would be exactly my next question, because with that many metals, how do you get that all out?
With a lot of trial and error.
Okay.
So we've now done over 40 flotation tests, about 12 lock cycle tests. And what we've determined is we can produce 3 good saleable concentrates. One is a silver concentrate with lead, copper, gold and antimony. Not great payability on the copper, but everything else is pretty good. And then we're producing a zinc concentrate. The zinc concentrate will have payable zinc, gold and silver. We produce an interim pyrite concentrate, which is gold and barite, and then we separate the barite from that and we get left with about 2 grams a tonne of gold in waste, which we're now trying to recover.
Fantastic. That sounds like a great plan. So you told me also you have a scoping study already out.
Yeah.
So can you give us some numbers? What are the projections? What capex do you need? How long will it take to build the mine? Yeah, or let's say the processing and also the plant and all that stuff. Yeah. And
sure. So we've only just completed the scoping study. It came out last Tuesday. It's got an initial capital requirement of 178 million US.
That's okay.
So not particularly large. The NPV8 from the project, so it works on a 15-year mine life. With a lot of the revenues are front-ended because we've got a particularly high-grade part of the ore body that we'll be mining first through 2 parallel declines about 400 metres long. We utilise the topography of Bosnia quite successfully in terms of underground mining. So that generates an NPV8 of about 920 million US.
Whoa.
And an internal rate of return of about 108%.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Can you say something about, I know with that many metals it's maybe hard to say, but on a equivalent basis, what would be the production cost?
The production cost per tonne is about $56, so operating costs. When you add in smelter deductions, so TCs, RCs, transportation, logistics, insurance, handling charges at ports, etc., it works out about $90 a tonne. But the ore that we're putting into the plant in the first 5 years is about $600 a tonne.
Wow, so that's 1 to 6.5 approximately then, Jesus.
Yeah. So the project in its first full year of operation will generate over $260 million of free cash flow, US dollars.
So that's 50% more than you need to invest.
Exactly. So
Whoa.
our financing possibilities are quite broad. You know, we have a very small royalty on the project in Bosnia. There's an opportunity to sell the royalty instead of raising further equity or having further equity dilution. The project financing opportunities are fairly varied for us because of the rapid payback. You know, payback from first production is 8 months.
Of course, yeah. That's easy.
So you know, we're looking at a number of different routes there that we can try and make sure we don't have to raise any more equity capital because our management own most of the company.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, maybe on that already. What do you own as a management, and who are other large shareholders?
So the largest shareholders are myself, Sandfire Resources in Australia, who have the high-grade DeGrussa copper project that's running out of mine life. Milos Bosnakovic, who's another director, then Eric Demori and Charlie Morgan are big shareholders as well. So, you know, between the directors, former directors and friends and family, we've got about 40% of the company.
Oh yeah, that's decent. Any institutions already then in?
Yeah, we've just done a $25 million institutional capital raising, so we've got a great deal of support from our friends at Sprott in the US and Canada. We've got a number of institutions here in London, including CQS, who are very early supporters of the project, as well as a plethora of institutions in Australia and Asia that have been involved in the project, some since IPO, some have only recently come in.
Fantastic. Well, that sounds like a super healthy base. That's great. What is the time frame to go in production for you?
So we aim to complete the bankable feasibility study in December next year. It's going to take us about another 3 months to just work through a few other minor permits and whatnot that we need, but we believe we can start construction early in Q2 2021.
Oh, okay.
So the construction time for the mine is relatively quick. The construction time for the plant will be a little bit longer, but there are long lead time items that we can get ordered earlier, so we believe it'll take us about 12 months to get the project into production.
Okay, wow, that's fantastic. So we talk about something around 2022 then?
Yeah, so I would think April, May 2022 is when we could realistically put the project into production.
Yeah, fantastic. Wow, that sounds very healthy. And I could imagine that you think already about paying some dividends then later on.
No, we're not going to pay any dividends. we're in a jurisdiction that is prolific in terms of its exploration potential. We're going to get more land holdings and we're going to do a lot more exploration. Okay,
but because I thought you are such large shareholders, so probably a nice dividend always helps.
No, I'm just going to get my wife to spend less. I'll be fine.
Okay, accepted. Perfect. Well, thank you very much. It was a great insight, really interesting company, and I wish you all the best, of course. And please keep us posted.
Will do. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was Paul Cronin, the CEO of Adriatic Metals, and you heard it, a $250 million company with a $178 million capex. That's exactly how it should be, not the other way around, but we have quite often when we interview companies. So this is absolutely manageable with this market cap, and as you heard, 108% IRR. This is also outstanding. Yeah, they have a big metal mix. All metals, of course, are needed in the technology, in the e-mobility, solar, you name it. And so they are in Bosnia. That's I would call it also quite in the heart of Europe. So they have the markets in front of them, and interesting company. I suggest you check it out. Thanks for watching us. Bye bye from London.